I'm Jilliana Ranicar-Breese, and I'm a storyteller. I write what I call Jilliana's vignettes, and they're all true stories, and a lot of them are synchronicity. The ones today are not exactly synchronicity, and I've chosen two from Paris. I used to live in Paris on and off for, in fact, 25 years. Starting in the late 70s up to about the year 2000. So, and I'm going back in September, so it'll be interesting because it'll be a different breed of people, a different time, and so on. I'm very excited. This is called Touched in Paris. It was 1980 and I was living in a garret in 28 Rue Bobbio, Paris 13th district, next to the corner chemist shop. The vivid painted red walls with a foam red sofa bed took up almost the whole studio and was boiling in the summer. In fact, I kept the sofa permanently down, so there was only room for a table and 2 chairs. The integrated kitchen was cleverly built like a caravan. Not that I cooked much. The reddish tan brick rooftops seen from the window were picturesque, as I was on the 10th floor with a lift that only went up, but you had to walk down. I was renting a cosy chambre de bonne, a maid's room. The studio was owned on the curious French legal system of viager by the patchwork quilt teacher and American textile connoisseur Sophie Campbell. Hailing from Chicago, this strong character had been born on a train and named after the famous American singer Sophie Tucker. She had bought the studio with key money and told me it was 4,000 francs. Sophie lived in a nearby rented flat with her American partner, elderly Brett, who was sent to collect my rent of 800 francs every month. We would play trick-track and chat about this and that. I looked forward to his afternoon visits, especially as he would generously bring croissants and pain chocolat from the local patisserie. One of my regrets in life is that when Sophie offered the studio to me, I thought, why would I want to buy a second flat when I own one in London already? I was not far-sighted enough to pay this bargain price. In fact, after I left Paris, because I had become nervous about walking back in the dark, Sophie moved in because Brett died unexpectedly. Within months of her moving in, the owner died and Sophie became the proud owner of the studio, which today is worth a small fortune. Cest la Vie. In that era of my life, I was getting up at 5:30 a.m. and taking the metro all the way to Mairie de Porte de Montreuil, where I would deballe my vintage goods brought from London. I would return in the afternoon after 2 o'clock and crash for the afternoon. What a life! There had to be an easier way. It was a silent, peaceful studio. Rue Bobbio was a tree-lined street leading from Place d'Italie down to Porte d'Italie. Today the area is hopping with Asian restaurants, but in 1980 it was quiet and frankly dull, not even a cafe in my part of the street. However, there was a small street to the right with a sprinkling of Arab bars, I was told, that snaked round and joined up with the pharmacy on my corner. But I never ventured down that street. Why would I? One night, I was walking back alone after midnight. Not a cat in sight. I was aware of a hooded being of the male species pass me to go down that verboten dark street. He pinched my bottom. Mon Dieu! I was in shock and screamed at him in French, "Maniaque sexuel!" It was the only thing that came to mind, having never uttered those 2 words before. The being vanished into the night. I quickened my pace, almost running. It was the witching hour, and there were no pumpkins to be seen. Then I thought, what if he comes round the corner? There will be no one to help me if he attacks me. I started to panic. My heart was pounding. I sensed the being would come around that dreaded corner. I reached the black, wrought iron decorative gate of my building and pushed my door code into the metal plaque on the wall. I was just pushing the heavy door open, my heart beating so loudly that I could hear it in the silence of the night, when he appeared. He mounted both of the steps and gazed at me directly in my startled eyes, no doubt seeing the terror in them. He was a French student type with long, greasy, unkempt brown hair, in his 20s, and clearly on drugs. Slowly he said, "Je ne suis pas maniaque sexuel." And the second one...
Oh, did you want me to stop it?
Oh, yes, stop, please, yes.
Just the white button, yes?